And now, it's time for Levack and Goz to answer the question, why?
Why? Tell me why?
Why?
Laugh is evil, man. So evil. All right, guys, let's get to it. Why?
Some of the most baffling, surprising, and questionable decisions in the world of sports. We start with one that happened today. Brandon Marshall is joining the New York Giants. Why?
I can't believe I have to explain this to people. I think this is makes perfect sense. Jets and he weren't going to work out. He wants to go to a team that has a chance to win and win now. That's not the Jets. So he walked away from $7 million, gets a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Giants, doesn't have to move, still gets to do Showtime, and is on a team right now where he is the second weapon, where he can just catch touchdowns, and where he can hopefully make it to Minnesota for a Super Bowl.
Well, he did do some other things. He took a pay cut because he's not a $6 million value to wide receiver. He could have made more money if he held out.
He was seven at the Jets. Well, what if the deal is 7 and 5?
He could have got 9 and some, maybe like 9 and 6 for the 49ers or Eagles or somebody else.
Ravens.
He could have made more money somewhere else. He also could have waited a year, taking a year off of the show. He could have gone to a team more likely maybe to contend for a Super Bowl than the Giants. Dare I toss out
these things together?
The Patriots.
Well, where the Patriots going to go after him. Now the Patriots, Adrian Peterson said, I'll take less money to play with the Patriots. The Patriots are like, we haven't talked to Adrian Peterson. Like the Patriots are becoming that exclusive club you just don't get into because you want to be there. Like I said, when you put everything together, the Giants are the perfect landing spot. The guy rolls around, New York on a Segway because he likes it. He's already got a house he loves. This is where he wanted to be, and he gets to play in the same stadium.
I believe it's a great move for the Giants, bringing him in. But Brandon Marshall, if you wanted to be...
You only get that here, friends. He's a Martian.
Brandon Marshall, if he wanted to be more about himself and be selfish, he could have made more money and also could have been a number one target in Baltimore or somewhere else. Some have talked about him maybe being a borderline Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver. Could have bumped those stats up a bit if he'd went somewhere else too, because Odell Beckham Jr. is still going to get his catches and touchdowns.
Yeah, but remember, OBJ's not a possession receiver. OBJ's like a 5 or 6 catches a game, break it wide open, go down the field, get you a bunch of yards guy. Brandon Marshall can catch 10 passes a game, and he can do that in this offense.
The next one, the Buffalo Bills are bringing back Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. Why?
See, this one's a little tougher. In my opinion, but let me do my best to play the game. There aren't a lot of great options out there at quarterback. Tony Romo will be released tomorrow, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's coming to you. Jay Cutler's a head case, not great. McCown looks like he's going down to take that spot in Dallas. Mike Glennon's going to want about $15 million a year for an unproven product. If I can get Tyrod Taylor to renegotiate his deal where I take the majority of the cap hit this year, I can look at new quarterbacks in the draft next year, or maybe lightning strikes and he's my dude.
We've had people defend Tyrod Taylor and say he's not that bad, and they're right. He's perfectly average. He does some things better than other quarterbacks.
Literally 14-14 as a starter.
Right. 14-14. If we had to do a ranking of the top 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, he'd be somewhere between 14 and 18, depending on who you ask. So right in the middle again. What we've always said is that he's not worth $30 million. But with that being said, we talk about negotiations and the value and who has leverage. It always felt like Tyrod Taylor had the leverage. Who else was Buffalo going to get as you laid out there? Who was going to be younger and is mobile and who already knew the offense and was going to go through a shift here? And I say no, the offense, because he'd worked with some of the coaches before. It made sense to bring back Tyrod Taylor, just not for the price. So it seems the compromise is going to work out. We'll move on to the next one. The Dallas Cowboys are releasing Tony Romo. Why?
Dak Prescott. Tony Romo is legitimately friends with Jerry Jones. He's not going to be happy sitting on the bench. He still wants to start. So Jerry's going to let him go start somewhere. He's, I could see him in Denver. I could see him in Houston. I could see him in Miami. I still think Miami needs to at least think about it. And he could, if the line keeps him upright, he's a contender for the Super Bowl.
Shouldn't we start thinking that market for Tony Romo is not as big as we think it is now that Dallas is releasing him? Because it was talks for how long? Back in October, November, then eventually Dallas is going to trade Romo. Dallas is going to trade Romo. Oh, nobody wants the contract. Well, that makes sense. Well, is anybody really interested in Tony Romo? We have to think about that. With the injury concerns, have you met a fan of a team that says, I can't wait till we sign Tony Romo? I haven't met that person yet.
No, but I think I know teams that are going to jump at him. I think it's Denver, and I think it's Houston. There's a market for Tony Romo. If your offensive line can keep that man upright, he's going to make a lot of nice plays for you.
But you can understand why Denver fans and Houston fans wouldn't want Romo. They're paying Brock Osweiler a ton of money to sit on the bench if it ends up being Romo. And Denver has a first-round draft pick in Paxton Lynch. And Simeon's not terrible. He helped Denver win some games. Not the greatest, but this guy's also under 26 years old and doesn't have an injury history like Romo does.
Romo is a top 10 quarterback when he's healthy. Maybe top 6 when he's healthy. Osweiler's not that. Trevor Simeon's not that. Paxton's not that. There are teams that are a quarterback away. And again, it's a big if you can keep him upright. He's taking you to the promised land. There's a chance that the way Dallas, if they play the way they played last year, this year, he could face Dallas in the Super Bowl with the right team, whether it be Denver. Like, put that Denver defense together. Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he's got weapons. He could go have a blast.
The NCAA tournament, the overall bracket will be released this Sunday, Selection Sunday. Woo-hoo. CBS Sports has announced that the selection show itself has now been cut to 90 minutes compared to the 2-hour fiasco last year. But why?
It should be less. I'm glad they cut it. There's just something about dragging it out. I really enjoy watching the teams, like when the teams are sitting in their home arena and they're watching and they're waiting and it's like, yeah, we made it. I love that. That's fun to watch. But it's not just that. Then it's like 10 minutes of this guy telling me why that was a good pick or a bad pick. 20 minutes of this, do this. And then guess what's going to happen right after the show ends? Every show like us is going to tell you why certain picks are good picks and bad picks. It's going to go on until Thursday when the games start, which will be at Hooters, by the way. I could do with just, here's your bracket. Here's the responses. Who's your biggest shock, Joe Lenardi? This one. Okay, great. Who's the one that blah, blah, blah? This one. Great. Okay. See you guys next week.
Do you think it has anything to do with the bracket leak? I thought you were going to go there. That, hey, they did a 2-hour show last year. Bracket leaked. Oh, that made us look bad, CBS. We can't have that happen again. If we shorten up the broadcast, then we're more likely that it won't happen again. They've said the bracket itself will be released in the first hour of the broadcast, but we talk business-wise. The Oscars keep the best picture at the end. American Idol and The Voice, whoever's getting voted off, The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, all that stuff happens at the end. So you can sell more commercials for this event. Business-wise, it doesn't make sense to shorten it up. But as a fan, thank goodness they're doing it.
Right. Well, there's that threshold. I don't know. How long would somebody listen to this show? Apparently 5 hours. Apparently 5 hours. 6 hours, too long. 4 hours, too short. 5 hours, just right. 2 hours too long, 1 hour too short, 90 minutes. Just right.
Russell Westbrook is losing support from media members in the MVP race. Why? The dude almost dropped 60 last night, but the Thunder lost.
This is a difficult why for me because, as you know, LeBron James is my MVP every year. But Westbrook's not doing anything to lose. Like, if you thought he was the guy, he's still the guy. Maybe you're coming to your senses and going, there's nobody on earth like LeBron James, and that's the guy. So I'll just say that people are realizing that it's nothing against Westbrook. It's just that LeBron James is amazing, and he's the guy.
And the Thunder are losing. They've lost 4 in a row. They're only 6 games above 500. For me, what more do you want the guy to do? The dude's averaging a triple-double. Where would the Thunder be without Russell Westbrook? I get they're the 7th best team in the Western Conference.
I'm trying to think where they would be. I think they'd be in the developmental league.
They would be horrible. Right. That should not make him all of a sudden a worse MVP candidate. He hasn't changed how he's played all season long. You want to put James Harden and LeBron James in the mix, fine. But nothing has made me think, you know what? That Russell Westbrook, I thought about him back in January. Now it's March.
Off.
No.
He's falling off.
He may be getting better. I get stats are what they are, but I'm still with the Russell Westbrook. Last one here. Tonight, you and I are offering career advice to you Albany students. Why?
Because your dumb butt told them I would. Look, man, I can tell you a lot of things not to do.
I feel like that's what it's going to turn into tonight.
No, you know what? I met some cool people out last night, and this is a great job. You know, I basically am a fan with a microphone. So, if you want to learn how to win the lottery, I guess I can tell you how to do that. That's what I feel like. I worked hard to get an opportunity, but I could give good career advice.
I think so.
Never say no. Never say no.
That's a good career advice.
That's
seriously.
it. That's what I got for you. If you want to be in radio, there's less jobs every day. Never say no. Your boss comes to you, hey, can you work this weekend? Yep. Hey, can you stay late? Yep. Hey, can you do a 5-hour talk show with Tom Gozlowski? Yep. Yep, I'm
excited. I'm going to mold the youth of America tonight.
I think I'm going to let you talk most of it, and I'm just going to pop in when it's necessary.
Do you think they're going to ask us like really weird questions at the end? Like, did you guys bring beer? Do you guys bring us snacks?
I hope they ask anything.
Maybe we should have brought snacks. That's always the way to get college kids engaged, right? Bring them like cookies.
Stop and get like Halloween candy that's like old.
Yeah. Hey, we brought beer, kids. Oh, nice. Woo, you're our favorite guest. Look, yeah, we love you guys. Yeah, we probably shouldn't. That's a good point.
They're probably not old enough.
Yeah. Well.
No, you know what would be worse? Like at the end. Okay, any questions? No. Okay, all right. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Yeah. What time do you guys wake up in the morning? How much money do you guys make?
That's it, yeah. I'm not going to answer that, by the way.
$1.2 million for me. No shame in saying that.
But you mean you actually manufacture it. You're counterfeiter is what you're trying to say.